Monday morning. We're back on the Spiral Ridge site today, and today is a pour day. S&S is diligently working on their little details, sonotube, final rebar touches, etc. The game plan for today is to get our concrete pumped in the walls, concrete finished, bolts installed, and then cover that with concrete blankets. For today's wall pour, CDA Ready Mix is bringing back one of the big boy toys. We're going to use a 47-meter boom pump truck today. The fun part about this toy is this 47-meter boom, it'll pump a truck out in about 15 minutes. There's 10 yards of mud on that truck, which means there's 40,000 pounds of concrete there. Operators ready to start moving concrete. We got mixer trucks in place, hoppers full, ducks are in a row. Ow! We're moving about 1,000 pounds of concrete through a tube, 150 feet, going to its location, and a guy with a remote control making all that happen. What a fun toy to play with. Concrete has to be condensed for it to truly be quality concrete install. You can take a hammer and tap on the forms, and what that does is that helps bring the gravel, the rocks in the concrete away from the wall, and the other is using a vibrator. We use both to condense the concrete and give you the best finished product. Concrete's not just concrete. It's not just water and sand and gravel and that creates the concrete, but there's admixtures and etc. that allow you to manipulate concrete and create a good pour in these weather conditions. So today we're going to take our standard 5-sack mix, add an extra sack of concrete to it. We're going to add plasticizer, and then we'll add a little bit of non-chloride calcium because we have rebar in the wall. That'll also add to the heat of the concrete, and we'll have the perfect wall pour. Everything went super smooth, so we're gonna get these walls covered up, and tomorrow we'll start stripping forms. So we're here on site this morning, and today we're gonna strip wall forms. S&S is so efficient that the crew will probably strip this and have it stacked on their truck and out of here in one day. That concrete mixture that we used in these walls yesterday really made these walls hot, pretty good cure overnight, so we'll be able to start stripping wall forms today. I have to give it to S&S Foundation. The wall stripping process is not just tearing everything apart and creating a big mess. Every panel comes off, that gets scraped and restacked on their truck. Not only are they hard workers, but they take such good care of their equipment. Good equipment creates a good product. The building we're about to construct is really starting to take a hard shape, and we've got the site ready to let these forms cure out, and E&H will then move in and start the backfill process. It's Monday, 9 a.m. E&H is mobilizing back on the site today, and we're going to get started with the backfill process. And wouldn't you know it, the compactor's all froze up. Just one of those things you run into in the winter. Lucky for us, Jeremiah's got a torch on his truck at all times.
It's about 19 degrees out here this morning. We had a little bit of moisture in the bottom of the plate compactor. So we've got to get this thing thawed out so that we can get it into the garage and we can get our compaction. We just set it over here next to the fire, and we're just going to leave it there for a little bit while we go back to backfill in the garage.
In phase 2, when we start the backfill process, starting in the garage, it's a good place to really get things moving and get good soil in. The garage kind of separates us from one of the house walls. And by backfilling the garage, it allows us then to walk equipment in there and work along that house wall on a nice level platform.
We put all the dirt in lifts. For this time of year, we shoot for about 8 to 10 inch lifts, and then we compact it. The smaller compactor that you see in the garage here, that's called a jumping jack. And we use that around the edges just because it gets a better compaction up against the wall where we can't quite get the plate compactor in.
Now that we've got the compaction done in the garage, we're going to move to the outside and get started compacting around the foundation. Today was a great day, got a lot done, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow where we can start the septic system. So we're back here on site this morning. It's Tuesday, 9 a.m. Got a couple big things we're going to try to achieve today. First is getting our gravel in and prepped and smoothed out and ready for a slab in the garage. And then we're going to move on to try to get our septic system dug today. One of the big tasks that we got going on today is we're going to dig the hole and prep for the septic tank to be delivered on site. Septic tank is not something you just put randomly wherever you want. In the process of doing the foundation, we actually pre-plan this out. So we'll dig a ditch, a spot for the tank to go, and then a ditch to go from the tank to the connection at the sewer connection point.
Some of the dangers that we face when we do this is getting too far out of level with the machine, the bank that you're digging out of sloughing in onto the machine, and it's just getting to the point where it's just a little bit too much out of level, and the bank is about to where it's going to give out. So I'm going to back up out of here, get myself on a more flat, more stable spot on the dirt pile, and then we can start moving the dirt from where we're at right now to where we want to put it.
Today, we're going to be playing with the skid steer, the MC80. So the goal for today is to finish out this garage, get it all nice and leveled out to the elevation that was set yesterday by Dale and Jeremiah. So let's go make this garage nice and buttery smooth.
Some guys, they put their gravel in, however close they get with just using their skid steer bucket to smooth it out, that's what you get. With Jeremiah, they go far enough to actually rake this thing to grade with a laser and make it right on. That's the kind of quality we provide our customers. Had an absolutely wonderful day today. All of our work got done, ditches are ready, septic tank should be here first thing in the morning, and off we go installing the septic system. So we're here on the third day of our backfill process, phase 2 of the excavation process. It's Wednesday, 9 a.m. Just figured out we got a little hiccup. We had conduit delivered instead of ABS pipe. The tank that they brought us is 500 gallons larger than the tank we ordered.
Sometimes you think you just got everything dialed, you got a plan, you're about ready to just take it and initiate that and have a great day, and then next thing you know, you run into a hiccup because somebody forgot something in the supply chain.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna dig our hole a little bit bigger. Our customer's gonna get a free upgrade, have to stay on track and get this system in today. We're gonna go in, dig the hole, laser that to grade, compensating for the slope we need from the building to the tank, the depth from the inlet of the tank to the bottom of the tank, so that tank is set exactly at the elevation we want. And the hole's dug the size of the tank.
We're gonna get some bedding sand put in the bottom of this hole. The reason we're using bedding sand on this job site is because we have so much rock.
The soil on this site's really rocky, so if we started putting those rocks against there and compacting them tight, we literally could deform the tank or puncture a hole in a tank or a pipe, and we don't want to do that. We bed under the tank with the bedding sand that protects it from the rocks, from the regular soil. It really reduces and almost eliminates failure rate. The parts we're waiting for have finally arrived, and now we're ready to start putting the septic system together.
We've got a 1,000-gallon, 2-compartment first tank, and then the second tank that we're gonna go into is a 500-gallon pump chamber.
As you can see, when the tank initially comes in off the truck, it just has a lid on the top of it. And from there, we install what's called a riser. And so this green accordion-looking piece Those are going to get installed on top of the tank and then cut to the grade where we assume that the grass is going to be, and the lid put back on it. And those are there to give you access into your septic system for pump repairs and maintenance on your system.
Today's been a great day. We've got the tanks in. We've got it backfilled with the sand up to halfway to where we can get in there and work. We're happy with the production, and it's just been a great day. Our slash pile that we started burning at the beginning of the project is all but gone. We've got, I think, 3 stumps left in it. That's gonna be done. We'll backfill to finish off the septic tank, and then we're gonna be out of here onto the next one.
Back on site here today. It's Monday. Had a little snow over the weekend, and it's kind of cold today. It's our final day of the backfill process, so today we're going to try and get everything wrapped up. All ditches, finished compaction. We'll do some major drainage around the house, do our last bit of compaction, and really wrap up the site ready for the framer to come on. Today, Jeremiah brought in one of his rolling vibratory compactors. This one is actually remote controlled. We're doing areas where we're literally changing the grade and flowing water and what have you. And as we're doing that, we're compacting larger areas. And it will literally shake the ground and make everything tight around this house from property line to property line. Today was a great day. We got all of our excavation process wrapped up. Fought the cold a little bit, and it was a little nippy outside, but everything got compacted. Jeremiah's got his equipment loaded on his trucks, and he's headed out to the next job site. Placed our orders, and lumber is on the way to the site, but that's the story for next time.